Sorry, I don't have a flag like David does.
So we don't have a flag?
Oh, here
Adam,
you
if
go.
you can, yeah.
Oh, there we go.
We can just,
Why don't we just say it?
yeah,
There we go.
I pledge
I
allegiance
pledge allegiance
to the flag
to the flag of the United States of America
and to the
and to
republic
the republic for which
for
it stands,
one nation,
one nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty,
Liberty and justice for all.
justice for all.
Okay. The first item on the agenda is any additions or modifications to the agenda. If I hear nothing,
No,
do I hear a motion to approve the agenda?
I motion to approve the agenda.
Second,
I second it.
Kathy, you want to call the roll?
Kathy, you're on mute.
Is Kathy there?
he's there. She's not-
Just couldn't find my area. Okay, so, excuse me. Member Burkett,
She's absent.
Member Gooden,
Aye.
Member Hooper,
Aye.
Member Hook, John,
He hasn't here yet.
he was just there. Maybe he's muted.
He
I'll
might
move
be
on and
muted.
come back
How
to
about
him.
unmute? Is that better?
Much better.
Yes.
All right.
John, would you like to vote on the approval of the agenda?
Yes, I approve it.
Member Norris,
Aye.
Member Toffel,
Aye.
Member Tasher,
Here and yes.
Member Wallen,
Aye.
and Member Wilson.
She's
Kate
not.
is not here tonight.
Correct.
Thank you. So it
Okay.
carries with a vote of 7-0.
Thank you. The next item is approval of the minutes of the June 9th and the June 11th meetings. Does anybody have any comments or questions about the minute, either of those minutes? I hear none, then let's vote on the approval of the minutes of June 9th. Kathy, would you like to call the roll?
We need a motion.
A motion.
Oh, that's right, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Thank you. Does anybody, a motion to approve the minutes of June 9th?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of both of the June 9th and the 11th, both, right?
Correct.
Thank you. A second?
John
I
Hook.
second them.
Thank you.
Sorry,
And
who was that? The second?
I heard Hook.
yes,
Yeah, I seconded it.
John Hook.
Very good. Thank you.
This volume is very low. Is it on my end?
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
so.
I will poll the members present. Member Gooden,
Aye.
Member Hooper,
Aye.
Member Hook,
Aye.
Member Norris,
Aye.
Member Toffel,
Aye.
Member Tasher, excuse me,
That's okay. Yes.
Member Wallen.
Aye.
That carries with a vote of 7-0.
Thank you, Kathy. Dr. Morse, would you,
I'm sorry, we'll poll for June 11th.
oh, the motion was for both.
Very good.
So I think that covers both
Thank you.
minutes. Dr. Morse, would you give the oath of office to the members that were not here the last meeting?
Yes, I think that's only Dr. Gooden. So, Dr. Gooden, if you will repeat after me. I,
I,
your name,
Darrell Gooden,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution
that I will support and defend the Constitution
of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California.
of the United States and of the state of California,
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the state of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation,
without any mental reservations,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duty upon which I'm about to enter.
Okay, thank you very much. And with that, I will leave you all. Thank you so much for your service to the committee, and I look forward to seeing the products of your work.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Good
Tiffany.
evening.
The next item of business is communications. Kathy, are there any public comments?
No public comments received.
Thank you. Do any of the committee members have
Could
any?
we have, I'm sorry to interrupt, could we have Adam scroll it along as we're going down? We still
Oh, yeah.
see it on the screen. Sorry to
Sorry,
interrupt.
I'm writing
okay.
notes as well, so yeah, I'll keep up this time. Sorry.
Do any committee members have comments this time?
Anybody have any questions about anything, or this is?
Well, we're going to
added
be
this-
talking about the other items on the agenda items.
Right, we have obviously the report and whatnot, but we added this section in case anybody has any questions. I know last time there were some questions about certain projects and whatnot, so this is kind of a free form this is the time to ask.
Right, I think in item 3, we have review of measures and discussion of different things. So I think we go there too.
Perfect.
Okay, moving on to the annual report. Has everybody seen the draft annual report?
Yes.
Here's the,
It's now up on the screen.
here's the annual report. It's pretty much what we went over with last week. Just added in the actual
The
figures.
numbers.
Yeah, I'll scroll down. Here's the number from the audit report as well. Matching everything from 1819. All the links work properly and send you to the correct places now. And here's the newest number, the latest number of what's been spent thus far since the inception of the bond. Any other questions or concerns or anything about the report? Obviously, Alan and Kathy and I were talking about it, and he said, next year's report is going to be a lot of fun, just because we're going to have a lot of stuff in there.
Does anybody have any questions or comments about the report?
All right.
Do I hear a motion to approve it?
I make a motion to approve the report.
Do I hear a second?
I second it.
Thank you. Kathy, would you call the roll?
Member Gooden,
Aye.
Member Hooper,
Aye.
Member Hook,
Aye.
Member Norris,
Aye.
Member Toffel,
Aye.
Member Tosher,
Yes.
Member Wallen.
Aye.
The vote carries 7-0.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is to review Measure J projects and overall bond program. Is there any information from Adam?
Just to kind of give you a list, I just kind of wanted to kind of go over a couple of the biggies, some of the biggies that are coming down the pike, some we're working on currently, and could be executed very quickly. And some of them are obviously heading down the pike of maybe next summer or one of the other breaks. But We have rooftop HVAC units that we're replacing throughout the district. We had a local HVAC company go through and basically do a full list of all of our equipment, including old stuff, rate it on like a scale of good, fair, poor, and bad. So we were able to kind of get a complete look at what we have at every campus for every classroom. So we've replaced a bunch of the ground units. You guys saw some of them, I think, in Miners Oaks. We are also going to be now tackling the rooftop units. Typically, the rooftop units are a little more expensive, B, a little trickier because of some of the structural weight and whatnot. As long as we're replacing like for like, though, we can avoid DSA, which we always like to do as well. We're doing a full parking lot redesign, which is for San Antonio, which is actually at DSA for review right now. Ventura County Fire signed off on it. Principal Munson is chomping at the bit because it's going to greatly improve the flow of San Antonio. So we're just waiting for DSA. Included in that we're tackling the ADA upgrades that are needed for that building as well as that campus as part of the whole project. That way we're only going to DSA one time. For San Antonio is obviously out on Carn Road, and it's one of the older buildings we have in the district. So it has a few necessary ADA upgrades. We're also at San Antonio. We're just putting out to bid probably tomorrow. It looks like we got the approved plans for redoing the front porch there. We're not changing anything. The look of it will stay the same historical look, but there's some large wooden beams there that have some termite damage. Some of the fascia there has some woodpecker friends that have kind of hammered it. So we're not only replacing it, but we're actually going to upgrade it and put in some like cement fiber board where the beams are, so the woodpeckers won't like it as much as well. So we're actively looking at utility upgrades at a few campuses, water and electrical main lines that are continually just problems for the maintenance staff. We're still looking at drainage issues. I know we talked about it on our walk at Miners Oaks, and the Miramonte has a similar issue where between the classrooms, they're sandbagging on a heavy rain. So we're looking at some of those, as well as Topa Topa's got some challenges. So we're currently looking at some of those. Topa Topa, for instance, would be kind of the drainage issues would be incorporated into like a water main line or electrical main line repair or installation. You guys will see on the agenda for next Wednesday, the Nordoff basketball courts. We got the bids back. We're asking the board to approve that project as well as the Topa Topa basketball courts. So essentially it includes removing all of the asphalt and new pavement, some new poles in some places, as well as improved drainage. Tomorrow, one more we're going to hopefully add, assuming the bid comes back within budget, is the Matilaha basketball courts out front of the gym are in. Obviously, you guys saw those. Those are in need. That bid closes tomorrow. And that one we actually want to add to the June 24th agenda as well. So
Nice.
Kathy is graciously holding out and waiting for me. So until the last minute, of course.
Can I ask a question about that?
Absolutely.
And I apologize because I'm sure you covered this on the tour last week. Does
Sure.
that bid only cover the surface or is it the hoops as well?
It only includes the surfaces. However, we've already talked to ops about replacing the hoops and the backboards.
So that would just come out of the standard school budget to replace those?
Yes.
Okay.
And actually, we are repositioning. They're going to redo the poles and the
Yeah.
bases for that, but the backboard and the hoop will be done by maintenance.
And what's the projected end date for that?
August 10th.
Of this year?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, this is going to bring so much joy to those kids at Matilaha.
I know. The courts haven't been redone, I don't think, since I was there. So
Wow.
it'll be nice. But yeah,
I wanted to mention,
go ahead, Alan.
Excuse me, Adam. I wanted to mention for John's sake that my plan is to just talk to the contractor about putting in that handrail at the front of the,
Yay.
when we, you know, while they're there doing the asphalt work and all that stuff, we'll just ask them to do that as an add-on.
It'll
Thank
be,
you.
it's a very easy
Also,
add-on, and the contractor shouldn't be a
there was
problem.
some, John here, there was some comment about the entrance was kind of very old, and then
The
you come
entrance-
into this beautiful gym.
Yeah.
What was decided about that, the entry part?
So the bus lane and the actual entry where we kind of walked down by the dining hall, that asphalt will be redone after the dining hall is completed.
No, I was talking about the entrance into the gymnasium.
Oh, the actual foyer area. That
Foyer, that's the right
that
word.
is still currently not in the budget, but Alan and I do hope to maybe tack that on after we're done with some of these larger projects.
Yeah, maybe it'll save some money.
Yeah. So
Well, I
but-
hope so.
So Kara, to touch on the basketball court just briefly, we are turning the hoops 90 degrees, all the courts actually.
Oh,
So you'll be running from kind of the music room to the tennis courts.
uh-huh.
That way we hope to help alleviate some of the balls that, you know, the kids are constantly chasing down on
Yes,
the track when they're
yes.
playing, as well as talking to the PE teachers during their basketball section of the year. The sun's right in their eyes in the morning, so they actually can't play that way. So by turning the courts, it'll help with the drainage actually,
Mhm.
and it'll help with the balls as well as the curriculum. So
Well, that's awesome because, you know, the balls go all over the place, including over the fence to Ojai Valley School, and then we never get them back.
exactly. So
Okay.
so
Lend-lease.
that closes tomorrow. So assuming the budget comes back we will put that on the June 24th agenda as well. So we'll have a lot of three large projects going on as well, and Topa, Nordoff, as well as Matilaha all have a 40-day contract, so which puts them at a little before August 10th. So
may I ask, Adam, in regards to the foyer opportunity, do we have to get any special permissions, or is it to Alan and yours discretion how, if something becomes freed up, that those resources could be applied there? We run into no regulatory issues?
no, all we do is I think in one of our first meetings, we shared some of the budget sheets that we presented to the board, and I think it was in December. So what we do if it's not on the list and we notice that we have some savings on another project, we want to reallocate some of that money, we simply state that to the board that here's the bid. We would like you to approve this project. It wasn't currently on the Measure J list, but we're using some of the savings from X project to pay for this. So,
Is there anything we as a committee need to do to assist in that at all, or is that just a routine?
That would be a good time to mention Measure K.
Well, yeah, well, that's coming up. That's at 3.4. So, but yeah. So no, there's nothing the COC really needs to do on that, but it is always helpful to have somebody's voice at the board.
Yeah,
meeting
well,
to
you know,
speak.
if it needs to be something that we need to highlight, make a comment in support of, whatever, just let us know, and we'll make sure, you know,
Definitely.
Kathy and I, that it gets reflected in the minutes that we were cognizant, were fully briefed, and was in support of the bond manager's efforts to do great things.
Thank you. Two more quick things about future projects that you guys will see. We're actively working on solar still. We've, you know, pumped the brakes a little bit just due to everything, but it's something that is on the forefront, especially of Alan's mind, as he's kind of been able to take the point on that. And then we are pushing hard and trying to get all the flooring replaced in the elementary classrooms before school starts as well. Which would mean mainly is the removal of the carpet due to obviously age and, you know, some of the health concerns right now, of course. So we're very close to, we think we might be able to pull this off actually. So And it'll kind of, like I said, mirror the flooring that I showed you guys that we did the test site at Miners Oaks Room 5, as well as the flooring that's in the office at Nordoff. So.
Is there any chance the Matilah Library carpet could be added into that? It's like the only classroom in the school that has carpet.
It has carpet, really?
From
Okay.
like 19 heavens knows when. I don't know how long ago.
We can certainly look at it. We obviously, the directive right now is pushing for the elementary schools, just because they obviously spend a little more time on the floor.
Right.
But we can definitely look at it. I'll put it on the list.
Well, just because it'll be cheaper probably to do it if it's part of a larger contract than.
It could be. We're not on that campus, obviously, doing flooring, but it never hurts to ask.
Okay.
That's all. Those are the highlights of what's coming down the pike. So that should.
That's a lot. Thank you for everything you're doing. It's pretty incredible to listen to all that.
No problem. Alan and I are running around like crazy, but it's fun. You know, I got to say, it's. I obviously have kids in the district, but I know a ton of them through other activities within the community, and it's nice to see the kids come back and have the new floor or the new basketball stuff, and they're genuinely excited about it. So it's really nice. They're the end customer anyway, so.
One of the fallouts of the COVID-19 has been that Adam and I have had a 5-month summer.
Yeah.
And you used it well, right?
We're trying to use all of it. So when we will literally go down to days before school starts of wrapping some of these things up, but we're pretty confident we can get them done. So
that's a good news story.
Yep. Thank you, Adam, for that information.
No problem.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
The next item on my agenda in front of me has the next two items proposed, but let's take the one up that's on the screen, which is our meeting schedule.
Yeah, so previous COCs have kind of met in October to review, everything we did over the summer or what the previous bond managers did over the summer. And then we usually meet in October, and then usually like January through April, just building the report. Now, April last year when we did it, April was not needed. So we ended up knocking it out in January through March. But it's completely up to you guys when we want to meet. Just because that's how other COCs have done it doesn't mean you need to. We can meet more, we can meet less. It's up to you guys. The only thing is if we have to have the report done as we voted on tonight, it's before the end of the fiscal year. So, but if we have it done in March, it's no big deal as well. So it's up to you guys. If you guys want more information, less, just let Alan and I know how often you want to meet.
I guess the first question I would have on that is what is usually the purpose of the meeting in October?
It's mostly a wrap up of us going over everything that was kind of done over the past summer, because typically summer is the biggest push. As Alan alluded to, we've had a 5-month summer, so we could have a huge download for you guys in October. But we can meet before that. We can meet, a couple weeks after school is over if you want to just do another tour. Again, it's completely up to you guys.
Well, certainly, I think getting the information is very valuable. So,
yeah.
Is there a school board meeting date set for October that you know of?
Yes, October 14th.
So would it be, what's helpful then in terms of our meeting for you guys, because you guys have to present at every school board meeting, right, Adam?
We do, yes.
So is it helpful to you if we meet before that so that it kind of forces you to get some summative information together before the school board, or would you rather have it after?
It doesn't really matter. I mean, we can do both. It is nice to say we could do before, because then at the school board meeting, we can mention that, our COCs reconvened in October and reviewing everything. So that's always nice to know that we're, the school board, I'm sure, likes to hear that we're actively meeting as a group.
Okay. What about Wednesday, October 7th?
Is that a motion?
I make a motion for Wednesday, October 7th.
Thank you. Is there a second? Or is there a discussion?
Do we want to set all the meetings first, or do we want to just set, that way we're not voting on each month?
That's a good question. I mean, you share with us what the normal practice is. I'm kind of in favor of setting our next meeting, but I'm open to the will of the group.
We can do that too. We can set October and then,
Because it sounds like we can make this motion to do the one in October, and then it sounds like we could make a motion for a series of successive meetings that you said run from January onward.
absolutely.
Okay.
Or we could wait until October and set the next meetings after that.
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, you could wait till October and say, yeah, let's meet these.
That
months.
might give us a better idea of what we might want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it, considering, the current climate, we could kind of see how things are going in October.
Yeah. I think
I enjoyed the fact that we had that tour. We might want to, at the October meeting, set up another tour at some point.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Or just to add to the process of thinking about it, it may be that, and I'll just throw this out, food for thought, that we actually take the meeting on the 7th, if it's possible, and make that a tour so that Adam and Alan could report out after the summer was done. We got that tour in, and also whether we are handed some information to, let me back up. You had mentioned, Adam, that in that October meeting, there would be a reason to share with the board all the things you've accomplished over the summer. Given that we have had this 5-month summer, is it reasonable to assume you guys would have that kind of information by that meeting in October for the board?
Yeah, so the board actually gets an update every month. Every meeting we meet with, we like Kara said, we present to the board and just kind of give them an update. But it's more of a broad strokes kind of update. Like, hey, this is what's going on some of the major projects. But we do
that one.
So,
Okay.
but October, we could state exactly that we would have obviously the info for you guys. And then we could also relate to the board that, we met with the COC again, we've reconvened, we've kind of given them the download on the summer, or we've walked some of the campuses and we've seen what's going on as well, what was accomplished over the summer.
So I'm picking up on Bill's thoughts. So to close the discussion on the motion to meet on the 7th, which I like the idea of that, could I add to that meeting on the 7th may be also a tour as well, like we did the other week?
Well, I was thinking, I'm open to any of that. We're all open to it, but would a tour be better maybe later in the year, just before we start thinking about our report?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Awesome.
Okay.
Just a
That
suggestion.
works.
So
Yeah, no, that works.
And we can set that at the next meeting if we don't need to schedule other meetings.
That'll work.
So I think we have a motion on the floor to meet next on October 7th. Is there a second?
5:30 be a good meeting time for you all?
Five,
Or would
yeah,
you like to change it?
5:30. Would you like to amend the date to set a time, Daryl? Oh, no, I'm sure, who
No.
made the motion?
Kara, I did.
Kara, I'm sorry, Kara.
I make a motion that we meet on Wednesday, October 7th at 5:30 PM.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Thank you. Kathy, could you call the roll, please?
Will do. Member Gooden,
Aye.
Member Hooper,
Aye.
Member Hook. Member Hook. I'll come back to John. Member Norris,
Aye.
Member Toffel,
Aye.
Member Tasher,
Yes.
Member Wallen,
Aye.
and Member Hook.
Aye, you hear me now?
I do. Thank you so much.
All right,
Motion carried.
October 7th. Thank you, everyone.
We have something to put on our calendars.
I know. That might be Alan and I's first post-summer appointment, I think. So that's good.
Yeah, and I was thinking, Adam, about the tour. Maybe during the Christmas break when everything's kind of shut down would be a good time to do that.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, well, I think we can revisit that in October and see where we stand. I think would be a good
Yep.
idea. But I did enjoy the tour and I think it's very valuable. So. I think
So did
it's-
we. That was actually the first time the whole COC's come out, and it was, I thought it was very good. So
Okay, the next item is 3.4, which is a discussion regarding future bond proposals. You have any information on that, Adam?
yeah, so the board is going to be considering another bond, and they're actually going to be discussing it at the Wednesday meeting, the 24th, so next week. So it's not necessary. It is obviously helpful if somebody from the COC, it is typically the chair, it doesn't have to be the chair, or to come and speak either, in favor of it or give the COC approval. Obviously, you guys are probably the most connected to it right now, to the bond in general, to the public and to the bond. That and probably the teachers that are living it every day. So there's a lot of discussion about it, obviously, with still the need for another bond. Obviously, you saw there was, 2/3 of the need from the 2014 assessment won't be covered under this bond. But there's also some concern regarding Prop 13 possibly being on the ballot, and how that could, impact our bond and our voters. So
You mean the same Proposition 13 thing that was on there in March?
this one's a little different, but it's pretty similar. It has to do with the property taxes on commercial buildings mainly. I think it's commercial buildings, and I think it's building or properties over 2 million, I think. But nonetheless, I think there's going to be a lot of the concern is that there could be a lot of pushback because of the negative press that could bring. So obviously, in the March election, there was, I think, only a couple in the state that passed bonds wise, and it was mainly that a lot of that was attributed to the Prop 13 that was on the ballot then. So that's a big concern, obviously, but we just wanted to bring it up to you guys. There is obviously still a need, and if somebody would like to speak at the board meeting, it would be, it's always appreciated. That's they hear from somebody besides myself and Alan or Tiffany. Obviously they know where we all stand on it. So
I guess I have a question about whether or not if somebody speaks, are we speaking for the committee? That troubles me a little bit. I mean, I think as a citizen, I'd be happy to speak in favor of it, but I'm not sure what the role of this committee is in that kind of a process.
I thought in the rules it said something about if you get 3 people together, you have to have an agenda and a public meeting. And so I guess only 2 people can go to the board meeting. Is that right, Adam?
That's correct.
yes.
But if those 2 people are in attendance at the board meeting, are they by definition considered as representatives of the committee, or can they
Not necessarily.
be there in their own capacity?
Exactly. You can be there in your own capacity and not speak on behalf of the committee, but speak on behalf of yourself as a private citizen.
Is it prohibited to be there as a representative of the committee?
It is not, but as Bob would, as Bill was saying, you might want to have a conversation as a whole committee before one person presents your, speaks on behalf of the committee as a whole. I don't know that you have that information yet.
Yeah, as I said, I'm a little concerned about the committee as a whole taking a position on something like this. It seems like it's a political matter that I'm not sure, our job is to kind of monitor the funding aspects of this.
Correct.
The bond that's already out there. And I'm not sure what our role is in deciding, as I said, as a public citizen, I think I would probably take it.
let me just put out there, and I don't know enough about it to take a position personally, but in general, if let's just take a scenario where this K bond becomes a reality, I take it would need to have a committee like ours take responsibility for oversight and so on and so forth. Would that be correct, Adam
Yeah.
and Alan?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I
And-
would assume that the same committee would handle both. And as far as I think it was John's question about representing the committee to the thing, I agree. From a fiscal standpoint, your responsibility is to provide oversight to the money that's been spent, and probably not necessarily to project an opinion about future monies. However, I think it could be appropriate for this committee to make some sort of a resolution that says, in effect, we've been evaluating the performance of the bond, that it's moving in a positive direction, or something like that.
They certainly could do that. However, that's an action item and it would need to be agendized at a future meeting.
And do we not have an agenda item right now discussing the future bond? But that's technically not a bond issue. Okay, I got it.
No, it is listed as a potential action item.
Yeah.
So if the committee did want to make a statement, they could do that. As for a resolution, they haven't drafted a resolution yet, but they certainly could make a statement. Yes.
Well, okay, so I'll just throw this out there and I'll let it be. It sounds to me that with the good work and the foundation and things that have been happening with the J bond, that this K bond is on the horizon. So if there was a resolution of any kind, it could only be at this short date, a week from now when this meeting takes place. One, I would say we could just be there. Well, not we, but if one or two people from the committee wanted to be there, it's one or two reasons. One, just to get a more intelligence on it, and as a second thing, if they were to speak and speak in sort of thinking of it as a representative of the committee, I don't think it's a big stretch pull, nor is it political to say, we are monitoring the evolution of this K bond, and the committee is working on a resolution and hope in the future to come forward with something. I mean, it's just a thought.
I guess I would prefer that if we say anything, it be kind of limited to the fact that that we have seen what's taken place under the J bond and how well it's worked and how we think that it's been successful.
Yeah.
I think we can speak to that. I'm not sure that we want to be speaking to the future.
I think something like that would be really nice to say. I think being able to say, 6 years out that we're still seeing the benefits of the first bond has value, especially when you consider that 2/3 of what needs to be done wasn't included in it.
That's
And I
really
think
good.
we could add that the administration of it has been successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think we could put that as in our minutes as the outcome of this particular agenda item.
That's good.
Kathy, can you come up with some language that reflects that for the
will.
draft minutes?
Put these sentences together and I will send them to you and to Daryl.
Could I hear a motion that we would like to move in that direction?
I make
I make a.
oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Kara. Go ahead, Kara.
I make a motion that we put together a statement that speaks to the successes of Measure J to date, and that we see the the leadership, how the administration of it has been successful to date as well, to be presented at the next school board. Did I say that?
Correct.
Yep.
Second?
I second the motion.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Member Burkett, excuse me, Member Gooden,
Aye.
Member Hooper,
Aye.
Member Hook,
Aye.
Member Norris,
Aye.
Member Tufel,
Aye.
Member Tosher,
Yes.
Member Wallen.
Aye.
That carries with a vote of 7-0.
Thank you.
And does anybody want to, obviously you can jump on, but, and watch, but if anybody would like to be at the board meeting as a, next Wednesday to give a statement, obviously just let Kathy or I know.
Okay. Just a question, if we put that in our minutes, would it get to the board?
Yes.
So they'll see it. Okay.
Yes, they can see it. Yes.
That's good.
Yeah. And we can make sure we highlight it a little bit.
Okay, that'd be great. I think we're at the future agenda. Does anybody have any suggestions for future agenda items?
The only thing I have is for the October meeting, we should obviously just put on there, similar to 3.3, just a meeting schedule.
Correct.
And also idea of when to do the tour.
Well, that would be future meeting schedule.
Good.
Right.
And a recap of, at that October meeting, we will give a recap of the summer projects and what's
Correct.
executed.
Great.
Should we put on the future agenda item, the fact that we have 2 more members still needing to be sworn in? Is that
Yes.
something
Yes.
appropriate?
Yeah.
Yes,
Wilson,
thank you.
yeah. Wilson and Burkett need to be sworn in still.
Anybody else have any other agenda items that we should put in? Before we adjourn, does anybody have any other comments at this time?
I want to know if anyone can see whether anyone's watching us on YouTube.
David probably can see that, but he's actually stepped away because he had the birthday party. But
Okay,
I think David could actually see who's actively watching.
okay.
I may find out on Friday whether somebody might, Bill Crothers might be the one that might be watching.
Yeah, exactly.
In that case, we don't need a motion to adjourn the meeting, so I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for attending.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Bill.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Appreciate it.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night, everybody.
Everyone, thank you for your hard work the last 3 weeks or 4 weeks. I appreciate it.
Oh,
Alan, I
our pleasure.
appreciate it.
Thanks for all you do, Adam.
So,
Yeah, thanks, Adam.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Bye now.
Thank you,
And
Kathy,
Adam.
for all you do.
Yes, and Kathy. Yes.
Yes,
Thank you, Kat.
certainly.
All
Thank
right.
you,
Thanks
Kathy.
a lot, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
I'll get this Zoom and all those others one of these days. I come on Zoom at church, so I'm in the 21st century.